All right, guys, so the purpose of this video is to kind of break down what to expect on the day of this shootout, New Year's Day. And I'm going to break it down into four main subjects. The first one being just a general overview. Then I'm going to talk to the models. Then I'm going to talk to the hair and makeup artists. And then I'm going to talk to the photographers last, being the biggest group. So first and foremost, the general breakdown is the venue that we're shooting at is predominantly a wedding venue. And therefore, it has very dark, intimate lighting. There are not many, if really only one, natural light opportunities. Now, you still can go out on the street in front of it, which is a very old city kind of looking wide street, and you're welcome to do that if you choose. But the predominant usage interior wise will require supplemental lighting, and definitely a tripod if not. Second, the venue is very well kept. One of the photographers in our lineup, Maddox, it is his family's owned property, and so we are gaining access to this resource for a very, very inexpensive cost, really the only cost associated with this entire event. So that I asked you to be extremely respectful to the grounds. If you make a mess, clean it up immediately. Do not leave trash laying around. If you take a soda somewhere, make sure you go and police it back up. And we want to leave this venue in the exact same shape that we arrive at, or better, period. Not excusable. If I find that you are being disrespectful to the grounds, I'm going to ask you to stop. If you continue, I'm going to ask you to leave, period. There's no excuse. We only paid 20 bucks and we just gained access to so much stuff that can help you next year. Be respectful to it. Third, in regards to the boutiques, we had two boutiques come online, Luca and New Avenue. And New Avenue is 100% locked in, and I have their second model picked from our list as well as their provided model. Luca is going to get back to me tomorrow, sometime midday. And from that, I am going to create a spreadsheet that has all of the social media contacts for all the models, the boutiques, and all the photographers so that everyone knows how to tag each other, as well as how to reach out and contact each other and where they exist. That will be in the form that's below this video that you will all have to fill out. This form pertains to gathering that social media information, but it also is the release for the modeling. There's the release for models. It is the content release for photographers and makeup artists, and it sets the expectation for how you will treat boutique content, as well as our wishes for how you can use the content yourself for marketing, and in regards to the boutiques and what they will expect from you if you do have captured content of one of the models wearing their clothing. So please read all of it. It is not very long. I'm not a lawyer. I kept it nice and simple. Do not, I don't want to find you on New Year's Day asking me questions that are on that form or afterwards. You should take the time to read it. Lastly, there will be food and drink provided by my wife, cupcakes. By all means, if it's in the cooler, if it's on the table to eat, don't have to ask, just dive right in. Keep your energy high, keep yourself hydrated, keep your sugar levels high. The models especially, you guys are gonna be working and moving and shaking more than the photographers. I guarantee you, having less models than photographers means that you guys will probably always be in constant motion. So we'll dive into that in a second. The last thing is we have access to this venue starting at 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, photographers, you're welcome to arrive anytime in that first hour. You don't have to be there at 1. I do recommend you be there at 1 so that you can start gathering your ideas for compositions. Makeup artists, you are required to be there by 1. And obviously the host, as myself, will be required to be there at 1 as well. For the models, you will have a staggered arrival time. You're welcome to come at 1, but look for the itinerary that I will be generating either late tomorrow night or Friday morning. Because since we have 3 makeup artists, that means I can only do 3 models at a time. So obviously hair and makeup takes more than 5 minutes. So there will be probably a 15 to 30 minute leeway before you have to be at the venue so that the hair and makeup artist can get to you and push you out to the photographers for availability. So look for that. Once I have Luca's picked model from our pool, then I will build the itinerary to do that. First and foremost, the models that are picked by the boutique or they're for brand models, you guys will be going through hair and makeup first, just so that we can have it available immediately. Now, with the boutique-based content, I am not interested in having the boutiques there from 1 to 6. I am more interested about having them probably there between 1 to no more than 4 o'clock. And the reason why is with brand models and boutiques involved, if you've never shot for a boutique, if you've never done makeup for a boutique, or you've never modeled for a boutique, you don't have a lot of creative control. And that's to be expected. Now, as you build relationships with boutiques, then granted, you can collaborate a little bit better. But a boutique has a very specific image that they want to market with. And so you will be getting direction from that rep for that brand in regards to how they want you to be posed, or styles, makeup in general, and hair, as well as obviously the clothing that we will be wearing. So I don't want to limit the models that are selected to only working for the boutique for the entire duration. I want you to have some creative freedom yourself. Which brings us to our first topic, models. Models, I'm gonna go over the ground rules for you first. First and foremost, your limit is law. If you are not comfortable with doing a specific pose, if you're not comfortable with wearing a specific set of clothing that you've brought and you're just not comfortable with doing it now, just say no, and that is law. Photographers, take note. If a model is not willing to do what you ask them, and they're not comfortable with it, move on to the next pose, period. It is not a debate. Models have to feel safe, and that's how we build our trust with them, okay? Second, models, because you are going to be actively working all day, it is up to you to take breaks, and you need to take them whenever you want. If you're in the middle of a set with a photographer, all I ask is you tell the photographer, hey, give me 5 minutes, let me grab something to drink, use the restroom, or 10 minutes or whatever. All I ask the model is that you go back to the photographer you were working with until they are done. We only have a set amount of time with everybody today, and we want to make sure that everyone has as much equal opportunity with each model as possible. But I don't want you to get drawn away and then pulled elsewhere, and that photographer get frustrated. So please be mindful of who you're working with. Take your breaks when you need them. Get refreshed as we go, and then come back to where we started. In regards to apparel, clothing, outfits, I'm not going to limit you in what you can or can't bring. All I ask is that you understand that the venue is definitely capable of very high glamour. And when I say high glamour, in the industry, we talk about boudoir. And boudoir is really kind of that term that we use for people that don't do that type of photography often. So like, for instance, somebody wants to give their significant other a special gift. Not a model, they don't do it often. That is considered boudoir. Now, if you're a full-time model in a professional career path, and you end up doing that same style, that's just called high glamour. So if you are up for doing high glamour, that means lingerie, quite a bit of exposed, nothing nude, that is off limits, then you are welcome to bring it. This is not a request for it. This is not a demand for it. This is me saying that it is okay to bring it. There are plenty of options inside of this venue that would cater to that type of composition. And if you bring it, I definitely will shoot it. But again, I'm not gonna make those requests. I am just saying that it is a safe place to do that. That being said, my entire roster of photographers, I have known all of them probably for a bit now. And if I don't, I think there's only one that I haven't met personally. The referral for which they are coming to me with, I trust dearly. And so if you ever have any problems with any photographers that you work out with through the day, come find me and we will resolve it immediately. Your comfort level and your calmness and the energy is extremely important to me. You are my first priority to make sure that you're taken care of, period. Do not hesitate. I am your friend and I will fight for you in anything. So that being said, you're welcome to dress down in regards to more street style clothing. Just remember that this venue is definitely a little bit more regal. You're welcome to do full dress. Real flowy type things work amazingly in this venue, on top of the higher glamour, more exposed type content. So the palette for you to choose is up to you. All I ask is that you bring at least 4 outfits. And remember that you are going to potentially be shooting from 1:30 to 6 o'clock. So there's gonna be at least 3 outfit changes. At the minimum, 3 outfit changes for the non-boutique models. So bring a diverse palette. If you wanna bring 10 outfits, by all means do it. And the way that'll work is you'll just feel it. If you wanna change your outfit and the photographer, and nobody's basically saying, hey, let me shoot you in that, by all means, go switch it up. And you're gonna reignite new energy as the model for the photographers that haven't even shot you already or haven't shot you. And they're gonna be like, oh man, that's awesome. Let me grab that. So you're kind of in charge of your own wardrobe. And I want to keep it that way because there might be something that you wanted to model in that you haven't had the opportunity, or you just want to see what you're capable of. Or if you're conservative and you want to just be play it safe, that is perfectly fine. No one will pressure you otherwise, period. If you do shoot for the boutiques, then just understand that you are at the disposal of the rep for that boutique. New Avenue, it will be their owner. Luca, it will be one of their business managers, more than likely. And if not, it'll be someone that I will introduce. Now that really means that if you're gonna pose, then they're gonna have insight into, or they're gonna have direction on how they want you posed. Again, you are becoming basically the model and the face of a brand. You don't have a lot of control over that. They have a specific image that they want for their marketing. They have a specific clothing and a specific look. That's what working with a boutique is about. The same with shooting any kind of designer's clothing. You literally are a model by the purest definition at that point. And that should conclude models. Hair and makeup artists. You guys, I've got 3 of you, and I've got 10 models in total, 2 of which are male. So the way that I'm gonna make this work, I think, is 2 of you are gonna shoot, or are gonna at least have 3 female subject matter, and 1 of you is gonna at least have 2. I'm gonna we're gonna discuss this off of this video and how we wanna do that, because I want all 3 models to specifically shoot with at least 1 of the boutique models, period. I don't care if it's just you or just Luca or 1 of each. I'm gonna let you guys deliberate, I don't wanna say fight, because I want everyone to have that opportunity. But I do want to make a big note. Excuse me. Billy McDaniel is my newest hair and makeup artist, and she's been only doing this for under a year. Now, both Kim and Candy have over 10 years of experience. I wanted that on purpose because if my hair and makeup team is all new, then I'm not gonna hit 15 and 30-minute marks, and I'm not gonna have models ready for an hour plus after we start. That's not acceptable for this type of event. So the balance is to have Billy, which honestly, Billy, this event is purely catered for the person that you are in regards to your career path. So I'm not picking on you, I'm just helping build you up. Both Candy and Kim have been notified that you are relatively new and are seeking mentorship, and both of them are open to you asking them questions. So come confident, come with as much strength as possible. But if you hesitate or you need some insight or direction or energy, ping those 2 that'll be right next to you. Do it. So we will discuss hair and makeup artists offside once I have Luca's models picked tomorrow. And then I'll go into the itinerary and map that out for you guys. But ultimately, the only thing that I ask of my hair and makeup artists is that you specifically stay on time as best you can. You're gonna touch up to 3 faces each. And I want you to be productive, be proud of your work, but understand that obviously we need to stay on time so that the photographers and the models both can help develop content, which is also going to ultimately develop content for you. That's all I have to say for you. That being said, actually there's one more part. So I have one model that is notoriously known for doing quite a bit of stuff with her face, and her eyes are very obvious as to why she would be that way. Her name is Olive. Whoever ends up getting to work with Olive, I do strongly recommend that you push your own boundaries, your own limits, and really playing with makeup on her. Now, if any of the models are open to it, by all means, but I'll tell you right now, Olive specifically is very open to very bold stylings with her eyes. Use it because they're gorgeous. Lastly, photographers. So for the photographers, as you get on site, here's what you need to know. I don't want photographers working with any specific model in any specific outfit for longer than 15 minutes at a time. And you're probably sitting there like, what did you just say? Here's how, here's why, and let me explain this. If you are sitting there, we just get to the venue, and you go and you scout out the area, and you're like, you know what, I want to shoot there, I see a composition, I want it. Go build that composition. If you need lighting, whatever, set that up. When the model becomes available, pull the model, shoot that set, and release the model to the next photographer. Go and build your next composition, pull the next model, shoot, and then repeat and rinse. This allows us to keep the models moving and flowing, and the photographers to keep going from composition to composition. Remember, you don't really want a portfolio that's full of just the same face. The whole point of this event is to get 10 faces worth of content in multiple outfits, in multiple poses. So build your set, build your composition, pull the model, fire, release the model, rinse and repeat. And that'll allow us to all make sure that we touch and get some face time with each model. Do not hog. 15 minutes is more than enough for you to go through a series of photos if your set is pre-composed. Take the time to build it, visualize it, and then execute, rinse and repeat throughout the day, period. Second, I am bringing a crap load of lighting gear, from continuous lighting LED bars to 6 different strobes and 2 different flashes that are universal. I have triggers for everything. I even have high-speed sync triggers for everything now, actually. Doesn't matter what body you're using. I have high-speed sync that works for it. Just as a reference, that shot on my website or my Facebook page is Jenna, who is one of our models. She's the dancer of jumping off the stairs, is a high-speed sync strobe pointed right at her. You can recreate those things, those kinds of opportunities. That gear will be there and available to you. Now, the same thing goes with gear as I said with models. Don't hog gear. If there's something that you like, use it, compose it, even if it's composed in the next set. But if you don't absolutely need it, I ask that you return it to the lighting pit, as I'm going to designate it, so that people know that things that are in this area are free to pull and free to use. If it's missing, then people are going to think it's going to be used, and they'll maybe go to a different set until it's available again. Do not hog gear. I will come and pull it out if I don't see it. You know, if I see you just kind of laying there as you're transitioning. So be mindful of that. Be respectful. Share the gear. All of it is available to everyone. I am not being stingy with it. I want people to succeed and create new content and have the best tools that they can to do this. All I ask is that you be respectful of all the other peers that I'm also being catering to. Lastly, you're probably wondering exactly how the hell do I deliver all this content at the end of this? Well, there's a couple of ways, and I'm gonna let you figure that out on your own. But you will have the contact information for each of the boutiques, each of the models, as well as all the social media tags that matter, mainly Facebook and Instagram. That's all I'm caring about, really, when it comes to published content like we do. And all that I ask, and it's highlighted in this form, is that if you ever post a contact from this event, or content from this event that is featuring a model, and obviously all of it will, that you tag the model, you tag the makeup artist, and you tag the boutique, if those 3 things apply. You know for a fact it'll always be a model and a hair and makeup artist. And you don't necessarily have to do this for the entirety of your life, but for the campaign for 2017, remember that when you tag content with someone's face and someone's art on their face, you're providing them networking and business opportunity as well, just as much as you as the person who did the retouch and the composition. That's a respect thing. Don't play with that. I will call you out if I see that you're not tagging people properly. That goes for the models too. To play in this industry and be successful in other areas, you have to give credit where credit is due. That is a big, big deal to me. Nobody works for free. This is not working for free. We are working for ourselves on New Year's Day. So make sure that the people that are putting the same amount of work into making you look good and providing you unique content are also being brought up with you. That is a huge, huge thing to me. Don't mess it up, please. So at the very bottom of this video, underneath me, is a form that everybody has to fill out. And in this form is the details for the modeling release, the content release, and the boutique expectations and release. Please read all of it. I kept it simple. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not gonna overuse big words. It's really cut to the point, but it'll help me aggregate all of the social media information for our cheat sheet. It'll help you have an understanding of what to expect if you are selected as a boutique model, but also as what you're going to expect in the end as the photographer and the model and the hair and makeup artist. And again, just as a quick summary, models, you will be granted full resolution watermarked photos from all photographers upon request, without question. If you find that a photographer, for instance, posts content with your face in it, and you reach out to them and say, hey, can I get a full image of that? And they never respond, let me know. I will light them up. Hair and makeup artists, you will be granted full unwatermarked resolution photos without question. So again, if you see a photographer posting content that has the faces that you touched without the tags, or you request a full resolution photo and you don't get it, let me know. I will light them up. Photographers, it is your responsibility to stay on top of distributing your content to the people that are involved with that specific content. That is part of being a professional. Yes, it can be tedious, especially with 10 different models and 3 different makeup artists and 2 different boutiques, but that's why I'm simplifying it for you and giving you a cheat sheet with everybody's Instagram tag and everybody's Facebook page. There is no excuse. So do not take the work that I'm putting into this for granted. So that being said, last closing statements. I want you to put this in perspective for everyone that's involved. To hire me as a photographer for a glamour session, for a one-on-one at the model's inquiry and request, I'm gonna probably charge anywhere from 150 to 300 bucks depending on the session. That's 300 bucks saved. Makeup artists can easily get to 100 bucks plus. That's another 100, let's say 100 bucks saved. That's 400 bucks of savings just on one set. A model can easily charge you 45 bucks an hour, 50 bucks an hour, or more. Let's say that that's another 150 to 200 bucks times 1. That's up to $400, $500 worth of savings. Let's not talk about this wedding venue that easily can be over $1,000 for a wedding day. Think about that total amount. Now that you know a little bit more and put it in that perspective of what access you are gaining, multiply that times 10, because that's as many faces as you're gonna get. And then 3 makeup artists, as well as photographer peers and the networking that you're gonna gain. Because I guarantee you, if you come at this with all intensity and professionalism, you're not just gaining 10 faces in your portfolio and 3 makeup artists worth of work or a venue that you had. You're also gaining 10 models that you can network with in the future, 3 makeup artists that you can network in the future, 2 boutiques that may come and seek you out after you provide them content, and a venue that you know is friendly to you. Those are all huge things that can take months, years to develop and build. And I'm helping develop all of that for you for $20. So the only thing at the bottom line, no matter what, on top of having fun, staying on task, working for yourself, and not treating that lightly, is that you respect the amount of work that the networks that I've flexed to bring this to you, do not treat that lightly, because I do not. That is everything. Without our networks, without our peers, without the people that we meet and shake hands with, you'll never succeed. That's the truth about this industry. We're a saturated industry, and we need each other to survive. That's how we build each other up, is things just like this. So thanks for signing up, and we'll see you on New Year's Day. Fill this form out. It is not optional. You have to. I will not let you pull out a camera. I will not let you model. I will not let you pick up a makeup brush unless I have your information in this form right below. And I will tag everyone in this post and repeatedly every day until I have 100% submission on that form. So everyone, enjoy your New Year's Day, your New Year's Eve celebrations with your friends and family, and please don't get too intoxicated, especially the models or the makeup artists. I don't want you drawing crazy faces. And let's come to work for ourselves on New Year's Day. I want to meet new people. I want to strengthen my bonds, and I want to hit 2017 running, because 2016 was crap, and I'm tired of it. Photography-wise, it was great. And we all had our struggles. Everybody, not a single person didn't have some struggles in 2016. I'm not playing that in 2017. And so if you're willing to meet me in that intensity, there's more along this ride. This is just the start. So Happy New Year's Day. Models and makeup artists, I will be reaching out to you shortly here in the next 24 to 48 hours once the boutique Luca is confirmed 100%. And we will finalize the last bit of logistics. And everyone, you will get an itinerary shortly after that, so that you know exactly which models are going to be available throughout the day and when. And models, you'll know when you need to arrive and if you will be working with a boutique or not. So with that being said, Happy New Year again, and we'll see you on New Year's Day.